Oh, you are welcome. It's a Tuesday edition here with myself and, of course, the entire cast for Wake Up Nigeria. Yeah. Oh, by the way, something I wanted to share. Life is like an onion. You peel it one layer at a time, and oftentimes you would weep. What you need is someone to be by your side when you're going through those times. And if one of those times is now, well, hey, we are here for you.
We're here to take those tears away and exchange them with some sweetness, some bright smiles this morning. Because all put together, you're like a honeycomb, you know, like little pieces all grouped together.
I'm not sure about honey because I don't eat it, because it comes out of the business end of a bee, but it's okay. Our world is plentiful with honey, you might say, and only the humble bee can taste of our sweetness. Hey, let's let you know who else is really sweet or looking sweet this morning. None other than the princess of Wake Up Nigeria herself. It is Winfrey Danny Okolo.
Wow, wow, nice. Thank you so much. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. Did you mean humblebee or bumblebee?
Humblebee.
Humble. Whatever the case may be.
I don't know. Whichever one produces honey. That's what we're talking about. Well, now that all is said and done, we need you to stick around. Yeah, honey's, sticky. Yeah, we need you to stick around because we have quite a lot of stuff coming your way. My name is Titilayo Williamson.
And of course, you know my name is Mazino up here. Remember, you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv. Just ensure that you've got some data, you know, because, it's going to take some data from you. But if you have my number, I'll send some to you.
Not that much. We have a hashtag, really important one these days, hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, so that when you throw in all your comments, contributions, when you tell Winfrey how beautiful she looks, she can see it. Be on our social media platforms throughout the show and beyond.
Watch us live absolutely anywhere you might be on a planet via our mobile app. All you need to do is download it. You can find it on Google Play Store or on iOS.
Yeah, social media is a big deal at TVC Connect. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. They're conversations you need to be a part of right there.
All right, so let's kick off the show now. So
we'll be having our health segment this morning. We'll be joined by Chibuzo Okpara. He's a health economist with over 12 years experience in the health sector, the co-founder of Drugstock, a cloud-based healthcare IT logistics platform providing access to quality pharmaceutical and healthcare products. Now we're going to be talking about proper methods of storing oral medication this morning. Have you been storing your meds the wrong way? Well, we'll find out today.
And coming up after, we have parenting with Jane Aigbe, founder of parenting resource site, Fab Momming, which was grown Fab Mom NG. Oh, Fab Mom NG. Okay. It's going to become one of Nigeria's foremost parenting platforms for mums, with a monthly visit of over 20,000 users. I think my wife also visits that one, even if my daughter is 6 years old. She still likes to go back and see all the details. It's centered around motherhood. With the recent trends of bullying in schools, we will be discussing how to know when your child is being bullied. And then finally, we're going to be joined by funny man Koffi Noel, aka the Guru, aka Beast of Comedy. Now, he is considered Africa's most versatile entertainer, comedian, actor, singer, playwright, author, director, and even producer. There's more. He has won several awards, some of which are Best Comedian of the Year, Dynamics Award 2006, Best Comedian Music 2006, and so many more. He's going to be joining us today as an author of Beauty of the Beast, The Scars That Made Me a Star. He also has over 20 movies and 24 music albums. Interesting fellow. Now he's an author. I can't believe it, because I think he's a very intelligent person.
Very versatile.
Yeah, very versatile.
Also, such an all-round, generally nice guy.
Yeah,
he was also at the Ames Festival. He was one of our
okay.
For real?
Nice.
Okay.
That's cool.
So I hear it in your voice. Do you hear it in mine?
Oh, no. I'm fine. A friend of mine, however, brought something to note. And I would like to also tell this. Now, there seems to be something in the air everybody's talking about. Just only yesterday, Toke had something on her Insta story, and I'm going to read what she says. She says, there's a nasty bug going around. Everyone I know is sick. It's COVID-like with no loss of smell or taste, but all tests come out negative. I've done 6 tests, she says, all negative, but I'm in bed sick. Now, she's not the only person who's complained about this. Like I said, a friend of mine actually complained about the same thing. He was in bed throughout yesterday, and then up this morning, he was okay. But he says he complained of itchy throat, he complained of... So I'm saying that there is something...
I know someone exactly with similar symptoms.
Exactly.
No loss of... Same thing, negative results, and of course, but the same sore throat, itchy, flu, fever, here and there, very weird. and up and down. You're fine today, tomorrow it's just like that.
So I'm calling on I don't know whoever the authorities are. They need to check this because everybody seems to be catching it. And of course,
I mean, we that work with our voices, we're finding it really hard to project and do the things we do every day. But we're getting through it. But it just makes you wonder what other things could be in the air that haven't even been discovered yet.
So now that's what I'm thinking about. That, okay, fine. If this thing is happening and now the new variant we're talking about, if that is what it is, right, and the COVID can test it, the present COVID test, does that mean we need another COVID test? Or is this not COVID?
We'll never know.
Like, what's really happening?
Do let us know, please, will the authorities check this out? Let's know exactly what's going on because, hey, we want to be safe.
Welcome back. It's time for us to take a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyison. Now we begin in Abuja. The federal government written to rescind its decision imposing a travel ban on Nigerian citizens. Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, while reacting to the latest development by the British government, describes the move as unjust, punitive and discriminatory. TVC News correspondent Tijesu Adeoye reports.
It had the monster COVID-19 virus under control. A new variant of the virus has emerged. The Omicron virus now has world leaders returning to the drawing board to know how best to respond and curb its rapid spread. The British government swiftly responded by imposing travel bans on countries with confirmed cases. Nigeria has been added to its red list, a decision the Nigerian government is very unhappy with. Nigeria's Information Minister, Lai Mohammed, says the British government is being too hasty and describes the decision as unfair, punitive and discriminatory.
As a spokesperson for the federal government, I can say without mincing words that the decision by the British government to put Nigeria on the red list just because of less than 2,000 cases of Omicron, which, by the way, did not originate in Nigeria, is unjust, unfair, punitive, indefensible, and discriminatory. The decision is also not driven by science or common sense.
In Nigeria's response to confirmed cases of the Omicron variant, the minister confirms that the Presidential Steering Committee has also reviewed its international travel protocol.
Under the revised protocol, passengers arriving in Nigeria are expected to provide evidence of and comply with the following rules. 1. COVID-19 PCR test to be done within 48 hours before departure. Post-arrival day 2 COVID-19 PCR test. Self-isolation for 7 days for unvaccinated and partially vaccinated individuals. Day 7 post-arrival exit PCR test for unvaccinated and partially vaccinated individuals.
The minister urged the British government to rethink its decision and explore other practicable means of responding to the new variant, such as PCR testing and improving worldwide access to vaccines rather than making reflex responses. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Now let's turn our attention to the case of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni Jr., who died after sustaining injuries in his school. The police in Lagos have invited parents of the students allegedly responsible for the death of 12-year-old Sylvester, and according to reports, 3 parents reported at the State Criminal Investigation Department, Kwanti, for questioning. Although information on what transpired is still sketchy, the police say they are yet to make a formal statement to that effect. 12-year-old Sylvester died last Tuesday after sustaining injuries in his school, Dowen College, in Lagos, and the family is still seeking justice as it awaits the result of the investigation by police. The family of late 12-year-old Sylvester, a student of Dowen College, has hired the firm of human rights lawyer and activist Femi Falana to prosecute the case against the institution over the unfortunate death of their son. In the letter dated December 6, 2021, and signed by Taiwo Olawale. The lawyers have written to the office of Lagos State's chief coroner, requesting an inquest into the circumstances leading to the death of his client's child. The letter, titled Request for Inquest into a Tragic Death of Sylvester Oromoni, killed at Dowen College, Lekki, Lagos, noted that based on the briefings by the family, the late student died as a result of injuries allegedly inflicted on him by his seniors at the school. And that's all we have time for when it comes to the news.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Nigerian. It's time for the headlines. And I'm starting today with Daily Independent. And right at the banner head, we have insecurity won't stop investors coming to Nigeria. Presidency. And right beside the photograph we see on the left, we have Dowen College students' death. Big slap on Lagos, Sanwo-Olu's wife. We have that on page 6. And right below that, we have NAS will insist on prudent use of COVID-19 funds. Senate's precedents. We have that on page 7. Right below it, we have Supreme Court hears Seconda's appeal, challenging removal today. We have that on page 7. And right below the photo, we have COVID-19 Omicron. Federal government kicks against restrictions imposed on Nigerian travelers, says vaccine to cover 70% of the population available. And right at the very bottom, we have why federal government launched virtual courts in prison. We have that on page 6. And that's all I'll take for Independence, Daily Independence. And I'll move to The Guardian. And we have End the Appetite, federal government additional Ishola slam UK travel ban. And right over the banner head, we have Nigeria's trade deficit rises to 3 trillion naira. We have that on page 3. 5 states, FCT in darkness as the labor strikes. We have that on page 3. And right about now, that's where I'll wrap up for the headlines.
Welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria here. And of course, the beautiful ladies and Mazino Appeal. So, I came across something very interesting yesterday. Actually, you sent it to me.
Yes.
It was the story of this lady who actually was worried about her daughter not having friends in school. Her daughter had come home and said, nobody wants to be my friend.
Yeah.
And she said she was going to surprise her daughter at school. So she went over to her daughter's school the next day, unannounced, and she was very happy to see her. Oh, mommy's here. Yeah. And she had a talk with her and her friends, where she asked them, who wants to be Olivia's friend? And they all said, I do. And they're like, why? And one of the kids said, because she's always beating me and never apologizing.
Who wants to be Olivia's friend and who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Was it who doesn't want to be?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Exactly. Now, who doesn't want to be Olivia's friend? And she discovered that her own daughter is actually the bully. So it brought to question for me, how many parents know about the status of their kids in school? What responsibilities do parents have when it comes to bullying or their kids being bullied or being the bully? I know that today we're going to be talking on parenting about how to know your kids are being bullied in school, but I just wanted us to have this conversation here. What responsibilities do parents owe?
So the thing is, there's bullying in different phases. There are parents bullying their own children. There are teachers bullying children. And kids are seeing this at home, in their environment, their cousins, uncles. It's become, they've been orientated, if that's the word, in that kind of space. So by the time they get into school, they actually don't know the difference. That is how they grew up. They have elder siblings in the house that lord over them. Yeah. And then they finally find younger kids in school and decide to lord over those kids.
As well.
It's their turn to be in charge. It's their turn to display some show of power. Yeah. So as parents, there are some parents that say, oh, if he beats you, beat him back.
Yeah, that was the credo when I was growing up.
Now, that beat him back thing, a lot of parents don't realize how far you're actually pushing that child to go. You're giving that child the right to essentially express anger on another person. And once that person becomes a younger person, it becomes bullying. Yeah. So it's coming from...
Or a more vulnerable person.
It's coming, yeah, a vulnerable person. It becomes bullying. Yeah. That's what it is.
Which becomes bullying.
So the fact that parents are giving the child the right to beat back.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel if the instruction is if you're being beaten, beats back. Fine, I don't believe in violence at no point, right? Do you understand? But I think the thing is, stand up for yourself. For instance, in this situation, something crossed my mind. The situation of Sylvester, right? Something crossed my mind. He was told to take in a substance. At that point, he could have refused to take it in. But then again, of course, we know the whole seniority thing, right? When I was in school, the same thing happened. I was bullied
7 of them.
No, of course, definitely.
There was no way he was going to refuse
so
that.
I see us going into the Sylvester issue. I wanted to save that for later. But since we're there already, I see what you're saying. I understand. He had a choice at that point, especially when he had to.
I don't think he had a choice.
No, of course, there were 7. But my point is, I've been in a situation where they've told me to do things I really know I shouldn't be doing. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Yeah, they might probably do you understand? Because in the end, he probably didn't know it was poison or something that was going to kill him. Do you understand? Even at that point, he would probably have stood and made sure he wouldn't have done that. Do you understand? But my situation, my thinking is, kids should be taught to stand up for themselves, especially when they are faced with bullies.
You can only stand up for yourself if you know there's an authority that can come to your rescue.
Exactly. Now you've just put the pin in it. Now, was there that choice to report to an authority?
That's why you have to stand up for yourself, because
exactly. So I understand what both of you are saying, and you guys are pretty much correct. There was that video as well of the counselor, a Zoom meeting, who used to work at Dowen University, who told about who told about the consistency of that kind of thing happening there. Well, he resigned based on that.
There was a parent who listed the names of 2 housemasters who were supposedly supposed to be in charge of those boys. But those boys are on the 3rd floor. And these guys are always on the ground floor. And apparently one of them is too portly to climb the stairs to go and deal with anything.
So they just let things happen.
They let things happen.
What really made the video very, very sad was a mother who burst into tirades because she also had the same experience with her kid as well. The same experience, she said, that poor Sylvester went through. And she says that she was lucky. She was crying, actually. So the question she raised was, why was this not brought to the fore from before? If you knew that stuff like this was happening, how come you didn't tell about it? And I'm like, what could he have done? I mean, it was him against the system. That he subtracted himself from such a system was not enough that something was wrong.
Of course, definitely. And I don't think he just resigned like that. I felt he probably complained before he now eventually
Parents, in order to wrap this one up, parents have a responsibility to explain to the kids what bullying actually is, and that they have no right to lord over another child.
Another kid, exactly. Yeah. Because that's literally where it comes from.
Tell you guys tell us what you think. Send in your comments. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigerian on TVC. We would love to read them. We'll be back.
Welcome to the kitchen, guys. Yes, super stoked to be here this morning. With me in the kitchen is Chef Ife.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, this morning Chef Ife is making plantain boats with egg coconut sauce. Chef Ife, you and your special recipes. Let's talk about the ingredients for this morning's meal.
Okay. So our major ingredient is the plantain.
Okay.
And our eggs, tomatoes, bell peppers for garnishing.
Okay.
Spring onion, sausage, coconut milk or coconut powder. You can use any one.
Okay.
Onion, seasoning, ginger, and scotch bonnets.
All right, fantastic. This looks like a very easy recipe, very easy to make. Now let's talk about our plantains. What are we doing with them?
You can fry and you can grill.
Okay.
So if there is anything, we can grill, but maybe we can also fry.
Okay. Yes. So talk us through the process. So for this morning's, what are we doing with the plantains? Are we grilling it? Are we frying it? We're frying it.
Yes, let's fry.
So do you need help? Because you look like you need help.
I need help.
Yes, so I'm just going to help turn this on for you.
It's on.
Oh, okay, that is on. So we're just waiting for the pan to heat up, yes? All right, fantastic. Now let's talk about our tomatoes and our pepper. What are we doing with them?
Basically slicing it, just the way you do your egg sauce, your scrambled egg.
Okay.
Yes, just but a little twist.
Okay.
With the sausage and then vegetable is somewhere.
All right. Now let's talk about the coconut sauce, because I've never made eggs and coconut milk before. So talk us through that. How do you make it? Do you whisk the eggs with the coconut milk?
Yes.
Oh, you whisk that together.
And you give it this fluffy feel.
Ah.
Yes.
So that would take a lot of time.
No. It's just like you're whisking your egg, but just with coconut. You know, some people add water when they want to whisk their egg, and some people use milk.
Yes, I know of milk because I know I add milk to my eggs.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the coconut milk.
Okay.
Yeah, just the taste
will be different. I'm definitely going to try this out maybe over the weekend. If you're just joining us, guys, with me in the morning, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ify, and we are making plantain bowls with egg coconut sauce. Yeah. Yes, I'm pretty excited about this because I've never had like eggs and coconut milk together, but hey, that's why we go out of our ways to bring you the very best here on our kitchen segment. If you missed out on the ingredients, they're right there on your screen. You can grab your pen and paper and scribble them down. If it's something that you'd like to try out this morning for breakfast, please do. And yes, the kids are definitely going to love this. They are going to love
colorful. Yeah, colors.
Yes, and then because you have like coconut milk with a lot of nutritional benefits, it's also something that you should incorporate into their morning breakfast. They're definitely going to love this. This is something I'll definitely try out with my kids when in the holidays, because you're gradually nudging towards the holiday season. I'm pretty excited about that as well. So right now we're waiting for our pan to heat up. Yes. Okay, and there's no work going into the plantain. Are we
just
taking out the?
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that we're taking that out. Okay, and then what are we using? Are we using oil?
We're using oil.
Okay, to grease the pan.
We are frying.
Oh, we are like actually frying.
Yeah.
So this is like having plantains and eggs, basically.
But
with a twist.
Yeah, instead of your usual plantain.
Okay, great. Really, really nice. I like what's happening here. So for the sausages, talk us through any other alternatives that we could use.
You can use your shrimps.
Ooh,
you can use your chicken breast. Something soft and light. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Alrighty. Amazing stuff happening here in the kitchen. Breakfast is getting ready. We're going to, start chopping up our tomatoes and pepper, getting them ready for our egg sauce later on. Are you as excited as I am? Anyway, let us know on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect if this is a breakfast recipe that you'd like to try out over the weekend or anytime this week, or even for the kids. Let us know, people. We can't wait to see those pictures and videos. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. We have to go on a quick break now, people. There's still so much more. Stay with us.
Welcome back here on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, for our health segment today, this morning, we are joined by Chibuzo Okpara, a health economist with over 12 years of experience in the health sector and co-founder of Drugstock, a cloud-based healthcare and logistics platform which improves access to quality pharmaceuticals and also healthcare products for healthcare facilities and pharmacies. He's here to speak on proper methods of storing oral medication, which I don't think you guys have considered lately. You're welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Nice. Great to be here.
First of all, before we get to talking about storage and drugs, I wanted to know, as a pharmacist, are you getting people complain more recently, maybe in the past 2 weeks, of itchy throats, a bit of a flu-like symptoms and stuff like that? Has that been happening?
So I think the first thing to point out is that there's always been the flu, and itchy throats, that sort of thing, usually point towards an upper respiratory tract infection. But one thing, because of all the COVID awareness, people often forget that, we've always had the flu. In fact, it was, for people with kids, it's kind of normal to have the flu run through once a month in most households.
Okay. So that's perhaps what people are experiencing now. Yeah, especially because of our heightened awareness. We're like, it could be, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about drugs and storage. Tizzy asked me from before the start of this segment, where do I store my drugs? And I said I store them on the dining table. Most people don't really consider storage for drugs. They just put it anywhere. The last place they use it is often the place you'll find it the next time they need it. But what should we consider when it comes to storage for oral drugs?
So I think the first thing to consider is that these things are actually chemicals. They're actually poisons, and they're supposed to be taken within a certain band of the climate adjusted storage factors. Say, for instance, you need to consider things like temperature. You need to consider things like humidity. You need to consider things like even light hitting the...
Really?
Yeah, the drugs.
Light?
Yeah, some drugs react to light. And so you notice there's a reason why some drugs are stored in brown bottles or stored in like aluminum packs and things like that, so light can pass through. So when you're storing a drug, it's important to replicate the conditions that make the drug last longer in its active form. If you would, for instance, put the drug on a table and your house gets extremely warm beyond 25 degrees Celsius, you know, tending towards upward, you should remove the drug from that part. Yeah, you should consider things like children's access to the drug, because if you know, children, especially at the toddler age, they take anything and put in their mouth. So you want to have the drugs in children protective caps or places where they can't reach them. You shouldn't also mix your drugs. For our older parents and uncles and aunts, sometimes, you know, they just bundle everything together and then they find out that, oh, I'm taking the blue one instead of the red one. And it's like, how many am I supposed to take? And then it's like, after a month, you're like, you finished your medication that was supposed to be for 3 months. So things like that are things you should consider. Ideally, you know, there are bands of temperature. Certain drugs go between 16 and 25 degrees. They're always on the label, always on the label.
But we never read these things. I mean, for instance, Titi stores hers in her fridge. Is that a good idea?
So, first of all, you should read if it should be stored in the fridge.
You should read what it says on the label. Okay, but go on.
And then even when you do store it in the fridge, pick the middle compartments. Okay. Because when you store close to the freezer or in the freezer, sometimes they form crystals inside. And that is also bad for the long-term viability of the medication. You know, so it's very simple things, usually on the label, but these things typically lead to the drug lasting longer or not, or being useful. Some drugs, for instance, I'll give you a typical example. Lagos is humidity over 80%. When you leave it in the open, some drugs, a lot of the time, absorb moisture. And they're chemicals, right? So they start to react, which means they start breaking down before you use them. And all these sorts of things are...
So what happens when it's broken down already to different forms? What are the effects on the human body?
So usually at the time the drug is prepared for your consumption, it's put in the most useful form to your body, in the most optimum form to your body. Now, it's supposed to start the breakdown process in your body. Some I've calculated, for instance, that the passage of this drug through your internal gastrointestinal tract is supposed to be 3 hours. If it starts breaking down before, maybe the drug is done.
Get to its end point.
Exactly.
Very interesting. So now, give us exactly how we should, and maybe with some examples, store certain kinds of drugs.
So
let's start with the most common one. The paracetamols and stuff like that.
So those you should typically store in moisture-resistant. You should have your medicine cabinets.
Okay.
Designated.
I hate those. They stink. You open them and they smell like hospital.
I hate those too. But you need these. Like I said, these are poisons. First of all, you need to keep them away from heat and light. Keep them in a cool part of your house. Preferably places where the temperatures don't go above 25 degrees and below 16 degrees.
So is this why in most countries outside of Nigeria, the medicine cabinet is actually in the bathroom or close to the bathroom because it's often cooler there? Is that why?
Probably, but I wouldn't recommend storing it in a bathroom here because of the humidity and the heat.
Yeah, not here in Nigeria.
Yeah. You want to keep it somewhere cool, dry, away. Preferably higher than where kids can get
There's no such place in a Nigerian household. I mean, what are we going to do? Unless you live in Lekki and stuff.
I mean, we have our cabinet.
What are we going to do if you live in Ketu?
You put it in a nice wardrobe in your room somewhere, you know. I have my cabinet in my bedroom on the top shelf. I put the drugs there. And whenever there's an issue in the house, I go there, I bring the drugs out, and when I'm done, I pack it and I put it back. Don't leave medication. Don't have one pill hanging somewhere and then it's I'm looking for one paracetamol. You're like, I had one under the bed.
That's often the case.
No, you shouldn't do that.
Okay, so what about if I have to carry my medication about?
Traveling with medication is extremely important, and you should not put your medication in the back seat at the back of the window where the sun hits the glass and gets directly on the drug. Don't put your drugs in the dash where it gets unnecessarily too hot.
But don't put it in the car.
Don't put it in the car.
So if I have them in my purse, are they safe? Are they okay?
They're safe. I mean, it's travel, right? You travel with them. When you get to your destination, you bring it out.
You have to bring it out.
And put it somewhere cool and dry.
Okay. Wow. These are very interesting things to consider, and we want to thank you very much for actually bringing this to note. I'm sure that everybody can find him. You're a drug stock without the K. So if they have questions, they can ask you. I'm very, very sure. Thank you very much for bringing this to light. I'm going to go home, sweep through the dining table, the coffee table. I think I have some my drawer next to the bed. I've got it all over the place.
Expiry dates are important.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? We're taking everything out today, and we're getting only new ones and storing them properly. Thank you very much. It's good to have you here. We really learned something, and great. Surely you did as well. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazino Appeal. We'll be right back.
Okay, Mazino, we are definitely holding you accountable to what you just said, keeping your drugs safe. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us. We're still here on Wake Up Nigerian. Here in the kitchen with me is Chef Ife. And this morning we are making both plantains with egg and coconut sauce, yes. Let's talk about the ingredients, Ife.
Okay, plantain, eggs, tomatoes, bell peppers, different colors for color, sausage, coconut milk, seasoning salt, ginger, and then seasoning, onion, tomatoes, and a little bit of vegetable.
Okay, so is this ugu veggies or scent leaf veggies? Ugu. Ooh.
Yes,
adding a bit of color, color and vitamins into our breakfast this morning, which is really good. I see that we're frying up our plantains already.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. This is Boli style.
Yes. Normally I grill it, but
okay.
Today let's fry.
Let's fry, right? Yes. All right. Great stuff. I see that we're already chopping up our tomatoes and our pepper. Now, talk us through the process for our eggs.
Frying egg is so simple.
Well, not a lot of people know how to fry eggs, so you need to keep letting them know that, okay. So when you put the pan on the fire, you need to put the vegetable oil.
Oh, okay.
After putting vegetable oil, you now add little salt, or you add ginger, or you add garlic, or you add tomato. So you have to talk us through it, please.
That's what we are going to do. We are putting little oil in the fire. We are adding our onion and ginger.
Okay.
I like to fry a bit. Then putting our tomatoes and pepper.
Okay.
Then our egg and sausage. Mix everything together.
All right.
Then our coconut milk.
And we're good
pretty much
to go.
ready.
Breakfast is served. This is one recipe that the kids are definitely going to love. So I think it's something that you watching should try out. And if you could also tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, we have to go on a quick break now, people. It's the top of the hour. We still have so much packed for you guys. Stay with us.
Now, for a Tuesday, getting out of bed early in the morning could be quite the task, especially when you had plenty to do just the night before. Makes you really want to just stay in there and not get out of bed like it was for me just this morning, because honestly, I was this close to say, but I'm here now.
But we know you set your alarm clock just so you don't miss our show, so that's why we always make that extra effort. We couldn't help it. Honestly, we clicked snooze once, twice.
I know I did.
But we made it here on time.
Absolutely. Eliminating procrastination from our lives is like trying to stop a moving train. It's not easy, people. Getting out of bed isn't too, and we know this.
Yeah. And then you almost missed all that we prepared for you. Yeah, you're just lucky. You finally responded to that alarm clock. There's about 45 minutes of matchless entertainment coming your way right now.
Absolutely. Now, hey, is in the kitchen. They're having some very scrumptious meals prepared this morning. What's going on in there?
We're getting ready. Chef Ife's hard at work, as you can see right here. Our plantains are ready. Our eggs are about to be, get into the pot. So yeah, things are getting up really nicely here.
Well, I see a cucumber on there. Don't trust any meal with a cucumber, but it's all good. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilaya Oyi. So remember, you can stream this show live at tvcentertainment.tv. You can also use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all social media platforms, so you can be a part of the show. Yeah. You also want to watch us live, by the way, from absolutely anywhere you might be. All you need to do is download our app. You can find it on Google Play and also on iOS. when it comes to following us across all social media platforms, we know you're already following us, but just in case you haven't, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're also on TikTok at TVC Connect.
All right, now, so we have Parenting with Jane Aigbe coming up real soon. You guys stick around. Founder of parenting resource site Fab Mom NG, which has grown to become one of Nigeria's foremost parenting platforms for moms, with a monthly visitor of about 20,000 users, by the way, that frequents for trusted information on issues around motherhood. With the recent trend, especially about bullying in schools, we will be here discussing how to know when your child is being bullied.
Alrighty then. Yes, we're back on the couch, and there's a birthday shout out to give today. Our very own Momo in TVC Entertainment, right here on TVC, is celebrating today. Now her name is Bumi Omohewa.
Happy birthday, Bumi.
Firstly, I want to say something about Momo. Firstly, when I got here, everybody used to call her Momo. I'm like, why is everybody calling her? She's so matronly, by the way, very nice person. And I did not know her real name until 2 months ago.
Oh.
I honestly didn't, because everybody calls her Momo. I'm like, okay. And then somebody says, have you seen Bumi? I'm like, who is Bumi?
When you have a nickname that's become an endearment to everyone around.
What was yours growing up? Did you have any?
Me? I have had a few names in my
What was the one that stuck out?
What? T.I.T.I.
T.I.T.I.
Yeah,
But that's your name, girl.
No, that's actually the one that I had. Well, T.I. squared is what I grew up with until after secondary school. Then just TT, basically.
What was yours?
Different ones.
So many.
Yellow.
Ah!
Itty.
Wow.
Why? You've got the Will Smith ears.
I was on low cuts in junior school, so I had pretty
Jesus, I never saw that before.
beautiful, nicely shaped ears.
It's huge.
Can you see
It's
them?
not
How do you
huge.
pack that away each time?
Really, Mazino.
Beautiful ears.
And then what was yours?
So
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Come
Memzi.
on.
You can't
There
remember.
must be something that sticks out. Something you can remember.
I don't remember.
MM.
And that's
Fire
because
breather.
I choose not to.
Oh,
Dragon lady here.
so I've been called so many. And when I mention these, you guys are going to see the relativity. I've been called Voltron.
Oh, wow.
I've been
Voltron?
Called, yeah.
I don't see that.
Goodness
Because of the way I walk.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've been called the Terminator.
Okay.
But the one that endeared people, or me to people, was Woody.
I don't understand.
I grew up
Woody
very,
Allen.
No, Woody, the guy from Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Woody
one.
Allen.
That was a very skinny kid.
Oh,
And then
I
there was
still see it.
Timon.
Remember?
oh, come on.
Timon.
Yeah.
And then Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa, skinny kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I can understand the Toy Story one, though. I think I see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people still call me that from
I
time
don't
to
see
time.
Voltron, though.
Well, you don't.
Don't flatter yourself.
It's time for another news update right here on Wake Up Nigerian. We begin with the news with the case of the 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni Jr., who died after sustaining injuries in his school. The police in Lagos have invited the parents of students allegedly responsible for the death of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni. According to reports, 3 parents reported at the State Criminal Investigation Department, Banti, for questioning, although information on what transpired is still sketchy. The police is yet to make a formal statement to that effect, and 12-year-old Sylvester died last Tuesday after sustaining injuries in his school, Dowen College in Lagos. And the family is still seeking justice as it awaits the results of the investigation by police. The family of late 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni, the student from Dowen College, have hired the firm of human rights lawyer and activist Femi Falana to prosecute the case against the institution over the unfortunate death of their son. In the letter dated December 6, 2021, signed by Taiwo Olawale, the lawyers have written to the Office of Lagos State's Chief Coroner requesting for an inquest into the circumstances leading to the death of their client's child. The letter, titled Request for Inquest into the Tragic Death of Sylvester Oromoni, killed at Dowen College, Lekki, Lagos, noted that based on the briefings by the family, the late student died as a result of injuries allegedly inflicted on him by his seniors at the school. Thousands of the Gambian citizens have taken to the streets in protest after 4th of December presidential election results. The election, contested by 6 candidates, was won by the incumbent president, Adama Barrow, and a huge crowd of opposition supporters besieged the Kairaba Avenue street where he resides. While some marched to celebrate President Barrow's victory, others wanted justice as they chanted, "Step down." Mr. Barrow, who contested the election under the flagship of the National People's Party, polled 457,519 votes to defeat his closest rival of the United Democratic Party, who garnered 238,253 votes. Shortly before the declaration by the Independent Electoral Commission of Gambia, it was reported that 3 opposition candidates rejected the election results on the grounds of late collation and the fact that their party agents failed to sign the Gambian The Gambian policemen have been deployed to the streets to quell possible breakdown of law and order. That's all we have on the news for this hour.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and I'm here on the couch, and I have a very interesting guest. And right about now, we'll be taking parenting with Jane Aigbe, who is the founder of a parenting resource site, Fab Mom NG, which has grown to become one of Nigeria's foremost parenting platforms for moms, with a monthly visit of over 20,000 users that frequent from trusted information on issues around motherhood. With the recent trend of bullying in schools, I mean, she's here to discuss how to know when your kid is being bullied. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you for having me.
It's absolutely a pleasure. I love your dress.
Thank you.
If it was my size, I could have stolen it
And
before you left the studio.
Top.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll just swap.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, so now tell me about Fab Mom NG before we get into the crux of the matter for today. Tell me about it. How did it start? What inspired it, and how has it been so far?
Okay, so I started the platform 4 years ago, and that was roughly 3 years after I had my daughters. I had a set of triplets.
Oh,
and so for me, it was just like an outlet for moms to vent, you know, connect with other moms, of course, get trusted information, because I understand how lonely motherhood can be, and at the same time overwhelming.
Very true.
You know, so basically a support system, a platform for moms to mingle, learn, and basically just be themselves.
Just be themselves. Amazing. Yeah. Now, tell me, we spoke about venting, very important. Now, how was it having triplets?
You don't want to know.
Oh, God. So now, because I'm confused.
Years now, so I mean, I can't remember those times.
Are you sure you can't remember that?
I can't remember.
Or you chosen not to remember
I don't want to remember.
Because I mean, I know I have stories and discussions with people that have twins, and it seems like it was a whole lot of issues. And you know how people pray for you. So now I'm kind of skeptical. When people are praying for you to have twins, I'm not sure.
No,
is that a good prayer?
God will give you something you can't handle.
Okay.
And you don't really know how strong you are until being strong is the only option
you have. Actually.
So I'm like this typical, very soft. But I mean, when I became a mom, a triplet mom, I had to toughen up. You know, nobody teaches you. And then when you have a support system, which is everything and more, it makes everything easy. So for me, my mantra is take it one day at a time.
At a time.
Just
Awesome. Okay, now, of course, you have a background in the whole parenting and the thing. So now, of course, with the issue that we've had from last week now into this week, the whole situation of bullying in school, how can parents identify when their kids are being bullied? Is there a pattern? Is there things they should look out for?
Yeah, definitely there is a pattern. But the first thing is you can't even know if you don't bond with your child.
Very
if you
true.
don't have a relationship with your child, I mean, you pretty much wouldn't even spot those signs even before they become full-blown. So you see a child becomes withdrawn, loses interest in studies. Some children, in very extreme cases, they say they don't want to go to school.
True.
And then
Very
for
true.
a child who is already thriving, you know, in school, you just see that the grades, you know, like a sharp fall. Most times the child comes back with injuries. Sometimes kids are also being bullied by teachers.
Very true.
And I also say this, but some people really don't understand. Sometimes we, the parents, could be our children's first bully.
Very true.
You know,
okay, can you give us signs of that?
So you bully your child to doing your bid. You know how it is like when we, which a lot of us are guilty of, we tend to yell at our kids because we want them to cooperate. You know, and sometimes in that process, you're bullying that child. You beat. I'm not saying that, you know, we shouldn't discipline our children, but even when you discipline with love. You know, don't compare. You know, it's really very broad. But most times we bully our kids unknowingly. your nanny, you know, your child's caregiver could bully your child. And if you are also raising a special needs child, then you know you need to pay extra attention. So you see the child withdrawn, loses interest, cuts his or herself out from social activities. You know, so many signs, but you can only know this when you interact and bond with your child and constantly communicate with your child. So gone are those days when kids come back from school and you say, how was school today? Nah.
And that's where,
Nah. So you have to ask questions, open-ended questions. While you are doing the school runs in the morning, you know, maybe even if you don't do the school runs back, when at night, for me, I say bath time is a great bonding time if you actually bath your child.
Okay.
So while you are bathing, you make the conversation very informal so that the child does not feel it's a very...
Yes, like, true.
So ask.
Yeah.
Sometimes while you're bathing the child, you can see marks, scars, and then you can ask questions, you know, and then let your child feel loved. Let your child know that you are his or her safety network.
Very true.
And let your child also know that no matter what happens, mommy, daddy has got you, you know. So let your child, you know, form a safety network. It could be you, it could be your husband, it could be your child's class teacher, it could be the proprietress. You know, it could be the grandparents. Some kids are closer to their grandparents, obviously. So your grandparent, your own parents could also be that safety network. So it's very important that a child feels safe. And feels loved, because only then can that child, you know, become very
true. So at that point, you now identify that, okay, it's that this child has actually been bullied. What would you say, in your opinion, would be the best steps to take to avert these things that are already happening?
Okay, so like I said, you have to bond with your child, the safety network. The next thing, how did it happen? And then let's say the child says, was my classmates or this or that. What's the next thing? You go to the school. I can be very extreme when it comes to my kids.
Yeah.
So if you
it's very necessary.
mess with them, you mess with me.
Very necessary.
I will go to the school.
Yeah.
So let me interact with the teacher, because that's the first, you know, person I have to interact with. Let me hear what the teacher has to say. And depending on the severity of the case, then I want to meet the parents of that.
Of the other child,
supposed bully. And I say that a badly raised child is actually a danger to well-raised children. And we can't keep outsourcing our roles. Parenting is difficult. It's tough. And I say nobody actually has like a clear-cut manual. So train your child, you know, how do I put this? I say once you have more than one child, you will notice that each of those children are different. And you will also know as a mom, if you are really attentive, you will notice when your child begins to display bullying tendencies. So you need to nip it in the bud so that the child does not go out and become a dangerous, you know, a danger to other children. So I want to meet the parents of that child, and let's communicate and see how we can
help the child be better.
Help my child and help your child. Because if I know that your child will pose a danger to my own child, I mean, my child has no reason, has no reason to still stay in that school.
Very true. Thank you so much. Sadly, I have a lot of questions for this particular topic, but then we're short on time, so we have to go. Thank you so much for being here with us. And, of course, we will be seeing you soon.
Welcome back. Yes, the energy in the building is about to get up to here. We have the one, the only Koffi Okay, so he is a.k.a. the Guru, a.k.a. the Beast of Comedy. He's considered one of Africa's most versatile entertainers, comedians, actors, singers, and so much more. You want to take it from there?
Of course, playwright, author. Very interestingly. Director and producer. He has won several awards and is the author of Beauty of the Beast. Interesting. The Scars That Made Me a Star. He also has over 20 movies and 24 music albums.
All for you. Just
only you.
It's by God's grace.
Yeah, that's all we can
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they should say.
Actually, true.
Because without His grace, you couldn't have done it. So, yes, by His grace. Thank you, sir.
There's always something brand new with Koffi. We see it every single time you come.
Haircut.
Really? I don't remember you with a different haircut, though. I don't remember
okay,
you
like 2 months back, I went into a character haircut.
Okay,
so I'm just coming back.
Okay, but this is... So I've known this man for, I think, a bit too long.
It can never be too long. It should never be too long. It should be forever.
Okay, but the truth is you've always had a particular energy and a certain creativity to you. I know you're going to attribute it to God, but really, I need you to mention how you've been able to sustain it over the years.
Being honest.
Yeah.
Being real. And... being grateful, and then not diminishing my blessings.
Okay.
You know, some of us, we take our blessings for granted. So I don't take my blessings for granted. I'm not pursuing someone else's blessings. I'm comfortable in my own.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't take that for granted.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there because we want to take a clip of yours and then we're going to bounce right back with you.
Nigeria is the only nation on the face of the earth that has survived the Ebola virus. No other nation. Go and check Guinness Book of Record. It's on your phone. Google them. The only nation that has survived Ebola virus. America carried shoulder for us that time. We begged them for one drug like that, zinc something. They no agree. When we can't conquer the Ebola virus, they can't call us. They ask us, say, how? Say, no, the problem with Nigeria gets. No virus will come this country. HIV, we still look at. Say, we never get time for you. Now, because the population high, now we say, we give you chance. If population drop now, we go drop you. Bird flu come this country, we chop bird flu. Because from way back, 9 bird flu don't day. Once the bird don't do like this. Our mama them, I for best, then go fry and chop and nothing. Mad cow, saying mad cow disease. When Aboki begin flog the cow from Sokoto, Zaria, by the time when they reach Benin, now the cow go well by himself, enter Lagos, Suya. Ebola can say get liver, he won't come Lagos. Now the other diseases call and say, no go Lagos, so they know when. You know here, when he reach Lagos, see our problem, see pothole, no light, NEPA, police, SARS. Now Ebola carry him back, say, weary people. No be me wanna go conky. Now he cut out by himself. Monkeypox can't do like this saying they come Nigeria. We say, okay, fine, no problem. We'll find a solution for you. So we send somebody go China. Make it go help us get solution. So I go invite the ambassador of Nigeria to China, an emissary on our behalf. He went to study the solution. So he will speak in Mandarin, that's Chinese. I'll translate to you people. Okay, so please your hands together for Ambassador Ibro Lee.
Wait.
Well, you don't even remember this clip.
I'm trying to remember where this happened.
Really?
I don't. I need this video, please.
I mean, that's how much you've literally done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There are things I don't even remember I've done.
Wow.
Bojent tells me jokes I said at particular times in my career that I have forgotten. Bojent knows, he knows everything I did at some point. He's like an encyclopedia of comedy. So Bojent will call, Koffi, don't forget this one. I'm going to use that one now. Which one? This one, what you talking about? This when? Say, this show we go for. Oh, okay.
I think that's incredible because that means you're not even used to recycling your own jokes.
No,
you're about dropping it, living it, and going with it.
That happens a lot with me. I think I lost some ground at some point because I was always just constantly dropping stuff and moving on.
Evolving.
People didn't kind of register me with particular items. And then some other people took it. And they sat on it, and it looked like they were the original people.
You did it.
So I'm now learning that, come on, guy. But unfortunately, I'm the kind of guy that I have materials that I want to use, like on Saturday. I have written 3 different routines for the same show. Okay. And already have routines for next year's edition of that show. Wow. So they come easily.
All right.
Constantly.
Amazing.
Constantly.
So now there's something brand new that you've put out there.
That's happening on Saturday.
About to put out.
Oh, you're about to put it out there on Saturday.
Yeah.
You are putting out a book. You need to talk to us about this book.
on my show day, I decided to do 4 things. It's my show day, it's my wife's birthday, I'm releasing a new album and then a new book.
Wow.
So this would be my second book, the first being Beauty of the Beast, and this is a Quotes of the Guru.
Quotes of the Guru.
Yes.
Okay.
Some expressions by experience or by noticing things.
Okay.
Some are funny, some are actually very factual. They are deep thoughts that you want to, so you read them in your convenience and then you go, Or you read them like, this guy is not serious.
Okay, so is it a collection of comic-based lines, or what are we talking about?
That's what I just said. Some are funny.
Okay.
Some are very deep thoughts.
Okay.
Some are factual. Some are quite rhetoric. Some are very, very blunt.
Okay.
Some are quite political. So they're just thoughts that keep coming as I see them or as I observe them as they come. I just put them down, and I've amassed quite a volume. And in this edition of the book, I have about 181 quotes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I was looking for this book, would I find it in the poetry section? Would I find it in, a self-help section? Where would I find this book? Where would you place it?
Inspirational.
Inspirational.
Yeah, because the thoughts in those quotes should inspire you one way or the other. You should want to read one of those quotes and be like, and then rethink your own processes.
Makes sense.
Definitely.
Oh.
So.
All right. Awesome. Now the album you say you're putting out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Special, yes.
Yeah.
I had to make 4 albums this year. I'm 44 this year.
Wow.
So that's why I'm doing 4 things on show.
4 things. Wow.
So
Okay, everything is symbolic.
I had to make 4 albums. An Indioke medley, Marocco, Grown Man Groove, and then Sunday Special. But this Sunday Special is so special. I'm so excited about it. I shot 3 videos for the album yesterday.
Wow.
I had released the previous video after service, an R&B love song that everybody loves. Thank you. Thank you, people. So I decided to do a gospel album to thank God. This is my second gospel album in 10 years. So I thought it didn't make sense to just always do 1 track on every album to thank God.
Yeah.
Why not make a full gospel album? So I did 1 before, and this is the second one. And this album is huge. It's exciting to me.
Amazing.
I had to rap on like 2 tracks.
Well, when it comes to Koffi and music, there's like 1 and 2. There's just so much.
I was just blushing now.
Yes, you're
really happy.
I'm happy about the album. It's constant repeat in my car. I feel it's going. Everybody's excited about the album. So yes. Book, album, show, wifey's birthday, great day Saturday.
All right, so this weekend is going to be packed for you, and we can't wait to see the book. We can't wait to hear from the album.
Definitely.
Honestly, the only other question I have now is: have you started eating more than before? Because I remember it's not possible.
It would not be possible.
Why?
I'm aging, so I should cut down on my calories and a lot of stuff. I don't take sugar anymore. I'm starting to get lactose intolerant.
Oh, goodness.
I don't eat butter now. I was looking at myself like me, lactose intolerant. Me with a bubble Morocco, grow up Bariga.
Wow.
I'm becoming lactose intolerant.
You know what?
You can't. I'm like, what happened? How? Where? So I realized that as you get older, some things need to go. And so heavy diet has to go. And I never was a heavy diet.
Don't worry. The diet we have in the kitchen is not heavy
at all.
But it's for you. All right, so please join the team in the kitchen. Koffi, it's always a pleasure having you with us. Yes, it is. Please join them.
Hey, I smell something.
Bring it here, man. Bring the energy
here. Something.
Wow.
No. Plantain is my favorite.
Oh, great.
This is what they cursed me with.
Oh my goodness.
MM and the chef have suffered through this, so let them tell us exactly what they put together.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Everybody loves plantain.
Chef Koffi
everybody.
has plantain on a boat with egg and coconut sauce. So,
did you say coconut sauce?
Yes, egg and coconut sauce.
I see.
We put you on a cruise this morning.
So which one would you like to have?
So we have one with the sauce, and then we
sauce,
have
and
that with
just
the egg and coconut sauce. So you pick which one you'd
I think
like.
you should try this one. This is the one I've got my eye on. What do you think?
He's
Coconut
the
sauce.
source of my being.
Do you want me to ship this one to you? Let me put this. There you go.
This is egg, the sauce. He's the source of my being. It's the sauce I want.
So please enjoy.
This is the egg now.
Yeah, it's got coconut sauce in there, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one with the coconut
Mixed
sauce.
together,
Yes.
And watermelon.
Cucumbers. Cucumbers
Okay.
and
Okay. Oh, this is a tomato.
tomato, yeah. Tomato. Give it a try. Tell me what you think.
Okay, now they use knife and fork and all those things.
Anyone you want to use. Anyone you want to use.
Beg you.
Use your hand.
Beg you. Yeah, Jemima, yeah.
Try some of the egg and the coconut sauce. You were taking your time.
You know, I know the program done the run.
Yeah, it don't finish actually.
So, if I quickly go where you want, I know we'll be chopping.
Tell you what, we're going to save this for you so that you can have it when you're going. Just continue eating it because we can tell that you are really enjoying it. Thank you very much, Koffi, for coming. I think you're a great personality. Good to have you here on the show.
Continue doing your hand of joke.
That is it, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on the Tuesday edition. We love you guys that you guys have done that.
Oh, never!
And we'll catch you again tomorrow. Titi and Winfrey.
Yeah.
You guys say goodbyes.
Bye. Tomorrow morning, guys.
Yes, indeed. Catch you guys then. He's still on it.